Yo, welcome back to another video. It's your boy, Coreythemaan. We're trying to kill some time. I can live stream on TikTok again at 9/11. I know, I didn't pick the time. That's what they just picked for me. Yeah, TikTok is wild. Um, anyways, we got about 5 hours, give or take. Um, maybe 4:30 or something. For 4 hours, 30 minutes. But anyways, let's get this one started out. I forgot I had started the video already. But anyways, let's get right into it.
Ever remember something happening in wrestling one way only to find out it worked another? Well, you're not alone. It's a phenomenon known as the Mandela effect, and you might be amazed at how it works. Join us now as WrestleMania looks at Mandela effects in wrestling and debunks them all. Now, have you ever been sitting around with your friends and you recall a past moment and say, I remember it like it was yesterday? Your friends agree until someone points out you're all wrong, often leading to a spirited conversation. This collective false memory is what's known as the Mandela effect, a phenomenon named after South African leader Nelson Mandela, who many people claim thought died in the 1980s when he actually passed away in 2013. Another is Star Wars droid C-3PO, who fans remember having a golden body despite the fact that the bottom portion of his right leg is silver. While there are various theories as to why this sort of thing happens, one of the most common is that people somehow tune into parallel universes, thus obtaining slightly altered memories. Likewise, professional wrestling has its share of Mandela moments, as we're about to see. Given the bizarre nature of the Mandela effect, fans might confuse it with other social phenomena such as urban legends. As WrestleMania has documented before, there are a number of wrestling urban legends, whether it's the mistaken belief that the Ultimate Warrior died back in the early 90s and was replaced by another wrestler, possibly Kerry Von Erich, or that superstar Billy Graham once injected himself with bleach after someone dared him to do it. Then there are wrestling rumours that have never been verified, such as the time Vince McMahon supposedly attacked Harley Race and nearly paid for it with his life, or that rival promoters planned to sabotage the first WrestleMania by having notorious tough guy Bruiser Brody jump Mr. T before the match. We're not also discussing phantom title switches either, or fake tournaments such as the fabled Rio de Janeiro tournament where Pat Patterson allegedly unified the North American and South American championships, creating the Intercontinental Championship. While older fans may have heard about these kayfabe creations, they later learned they were fictitious. However, these are incidents that fans clearly remember happening one way, but that happened somewhat or profoundly different. These are Mandela effects. Number 1. Marty Jannetty was superkicked through the barbershop window. One of wrestling's greatest breakup angles, the time the Rockers of Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty appeared on Brutus Beefcake's The Barbershop Talk segment to try and patch up their differences, is still remembered for the moment when Michaels superkicked his former friend through the set's plate glass window. While that may have happened in an alternate reality, it's not what happened in our Earth dimension, as Michaels superkicked Jannetty, then tossed his hapless partner through the window. Or in Bobby the Brain Heenan's take on things, Jannetty cowardly jumped through the window in a mad dash to escape further punishment. As cool as a superkick through the window could have been, what happened was still an incredible way for Shawn Michaels to cement his heel turn and begin his unexpected climb to the top of the WWF mountain. Sadly for Jannetty, his WWF career never even came close to matching Michaels' level of success. Number 2. Curt Hennig, or Curt Hennig. Despite dying at the age of 44, the life and times of the wrestler best known as Mr. Perfect were marked by amazing in-ring performances, powerful promos, and a reputation as a trusted friend, notorious prankster, country music singer, and family man. This second-generation wrestler turned down a chance as AWA World Heavyweight Champion to sign with the WWF, becoming its master of all trades, Mr. Perfect, an athlete capable of hitting a hole-in-one in golf, bowling a perfect game, and other incredible feats. Mr. Perfect enjoyed an unbeaten streak in singles competition from 1988 until WrestleMania 6, as well as 2 memorable reigns as Intercontinental Champion. What's not remembered so well are the correct spelling and pronunciation of his name, with many fans still remembering it as Kurt Hennig when it was actually Kurt Hennig. Many fans to this day still call him Kurt Hennig and ignore anyone who tries to correct them, proving no one has a perfect memory. But to our knowledge, there is no instance of the AWA, WWE or WCW spelling it in that way, or even pronouncing it such. The only thing we came across was a misspelling in WWE 2K14 where it spelt Kurt Hennig in his NWO Titantron. We can only put this one down as a typo. But speaking of Mr. Perfect, be on the lookout for our upcoming Behind the Titantron episode, The Final Days of Kurt Hennig.
Damn.
Number 3. Bob Holly's Intercontinental Championship win. Everyone knows Bob Holly defeated Jeff Jarrett for the Intercontinental Championship, right? Well, in a sense he did, but in another sense he didn't. And it's the latter sense that counted. Confused? Not as confused as Holly, who discusses the incident in his memoir The Hardcore Truth, where he mentioned, "He and I had a match for television that was going to be for the IC title, and they told me before the match that I was going to win and become the champion. I was glad to hear that because the IC title was second only to the WWF Championship at that point. We did the match and it went well, and the finish came off fine, with me hitting him with a clothesline off the top. I went for the cover and Jeff got his foot on the rope to break the pin, but the ref didn't see it and counted 3. I'd been told to get out of the ring quickly, grab the belt, and come straight to the back, so I did." Fans who see this have every reason to recall seeing Holly win the championship, but the story wasn't over that night. While Holly was backstage, Jarrett protested the referee's decision. The end of Holly's story explains exactly what happened. The idea had been to use the controversy to build up a rematch for the title at the next pay-per-view. When I got backstage with the belt, they told me I was going to go back out there. They were going to announce the title was vacant, and I'd actually never won it, and we were going to do the rematch right away, and Jeff was going to win. It was incredibly frustrating. Thus, many fans are still surprised when they look at Bob Holly's record and note the absence of the Intercontinental Championship. In some ways, it's a similar situation to what happened to Chris Jericho when he defeated Triple H for the WWF Championship on the 17th April 2000 edition of Raw, only to have referee Dave Hebner overturn the decision after being bullied by Triple H. However, most fans remember that Jericho did not win the title that night, although he would not only become the WWF's first undisputed champion, but hold the World Championship there on several occasions. In Holly's case, his night of glory is still remembered, but fans forget the sad ending of his win going up in smoke. So again, this is not the illusion of a Mandela effect. A link to the actual match is in the description below. Number 4. The Ultimate Warrior's Ultimate Warrior Tattoo. Not too long ago, WrestleMania discussed some of the hidden meanings behind WWE superstars' tattoos, and we wish we'd known about this one. However, like many fans, it's possible the Mandela effect came into play, altering our memory. Consider the case of the Ultimate Warrior, a WWE Hall of Famer whose image is definitely striking enough to be a good tattoo subject. The Ultimate Warrior's career was mixed with incredible in-ring moments and incredible warrior wackiness outside the ring, whether it was his outrageous opinions or his love-hate relationship with the WWF. Nevertheless, his wrestling career is considered one of the biggest during the late 80s and early 90s, with his legend continuing today. While fans have analysed many aspects of the Warrior's life and career, one thing that has often escaped notice was the striking tattoo on the Warrior's right arm, a tattoo of the Warrior himself. Wrestling fans are known for getting skin art of their favourite superstar, but it's rare when a wrestler gets a tattoo of themselves. Still, that's what the Warrior did, and you can even see it on at least one Warrior action figure. Now, some may not remember the tattoo because it was quite faint, and it didn't stand out amongst the Warrior's colourful attire. Looking at various pictures, it seems like the Warrior had the tattoo done when he returned at WrestleMania 8. So unfortunately, this is the work of fact, not fiction, and should not be considered a Mandela effect. Number 5. Daivari terrorist angle and Undertaker carried backstage. While the incredible story of the former WWE superstar Muhammad Hassan has been profiled in the Behind the Titantron episode about him, arguably the most controversial night of the superstar's career involves the Mandela effect and how the fans remember things transpiring. On 5th July 2005, the WWE taped an episode of SmackDown where The Undertaker battled Hassan's manager Daivari. During the match, 5 masked men showed up, attacking Taker and chokeslamming him out before carrying him to the backstage area. As you'll likely recall, the WWE chose to air this segment the day of the London terrorist bombings, leading to a firestorm of controversy and the Muhammad Hassan storyline being scrapped not long after. What you may not recall is that it was actually Daivari who was carried backstage, while The Undertaker was left laying in the ring. It's a memory many fans have, but it's a false one. Number 6. Hell in a Cell or Hell in the Cell? This one seems so simple that fans will likely attribute people confusing the name of the WWE's cage match extraordinaire Hell in a Cell with the term Hell in the Cell to being a simple slip-up. However, fans claim they remember the first Hell in a Cell match being called Hell in the Cell. Well, it seems that this is partly true. WWE presented the match as Hell in a Cell for 1997's infamous match between The Undertaker vs Shawn Michaels at Bad Blood. However, for one matchup, the 6-man Hell in a Cell at 2000's Armageddon pay-per-view, the match graphics actually read Hell in the Cell. For some odd reason, this is the only time it has been mentioned like this. And number 7. CM Punk's Ice Cream Bars. Longtime WWE fans remember the company shilling everything from action figures to albums to ice cream bars. That's right, fans could get their hands on ice cream bars featuring the likeness of their favourite WWF superstars. The bars debuted in 1989 and the site Nightmare Nostalgia describes the frozen treat, saying, "The soft cookie-based outside featuring a popular wrestler encased in what I thought was one of the coolest boxes to hold any kind of treat." Even better, with the purchase of a bar came a collectible trading card of a random superstar with some fun facts to read while your inner fat kid was letting that chocolate backing melt all over your hands. Admit it, you ate that scrumptious cookie layer first. While fans probably think the ice cream bars died out after Hulk Hogan's first run in the WWF, Nightmare Nostalgia claims manufacturer Good Humor continued making them until 2009. However, that wasn't the end of things. In 2011, CM Punk made a list of demands to Mr. McMahon to guarantee him staying in the WWE, one of them being the return of WWE ice cream bars. While the ice cream bars never returned, the WWE did release a CM Punk ice cream bar t-shirt which featured a picture of what said ice cream bar would look like. This may have led to some fans recalling the WWE revived its ice cream line to placate Punk, but a t-shirt is all we got. A picture of CM Punk holding up an ice cream bar was used in a promotional poster for TLC 2011, so it's likely fans could have simply been confused. But there you have it guys, debunking some of wrestling's Mandela effects. Do you remember any of these memories the way they actually occurred, or have you fallen prey to collective false memories too? Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.